Hello and welcome to Pointless Point of View. My name is Callum Taylor and as always I'm joined by the handsome one, Fraser Doig.
Alan.
This week's episode we're going to go through the emotions from the games that we've played in the past. But as usual we're going to hit it with the news and then we'll work our way into it, so we'll get it done. This week's news, there's not as much as usual because we've recorded this episode quite close to the last episode, so
Yes, we have, aye.
that I've not looked hard enough. But we were told that the Spider-Man DLCs have been announced. Obviously, Spider-Man week, so we're
Yes,
quite
Spider-Man week.
Spider-Man week, so we're quite happy about it. We've got The Heist on October 23rd, which we were given a video from Insomniac.
I've not watched it.
You not watched it?
I don't really want to watch it because I don't really want to watch something for a DLC before the game's even out. So
Well, it gives you a look at what Black Cat looks like, and it looks good. It looks good in it. I won't go into detail, but it doesn't look like. Do you remember Black Cat from the old Spider-Man cartoons? She doesn't look like that. It's more of a up to date, which you would expect. So we know the details of that one, but the next two we're not given anything except the name and the month that they're coming out, which is the next one after The Heist is Turf Wars, which is out in November 2018. I know that. Do you remember the old Spider-Man game? The universe, the one where all the universes came together. I know there was something about talking about Turf Wars and that, and it turned out to be a Venom thing.
Well, this is the thing. Like, obviously, I don't know if the DLC is like continuing from the story of the game. I don't think it is, because if they're showing stuff already, I think it's just little bits after.
Well, I know that the Heist, they're coming and said that there's hints throughout the game. So if they hadn't announced it, we'd be able to look around and see stuff during the game. We'd be, oh, that's what that's for.
Right, okay, so it's not actually a direct follow from the game. So even if you know about the DLC, it's not going to spoil anything for the game, because the last thing I want to do is...
Yeah.
Because I don't want to spoil it for myself, and I also don't want to spoil it for other people.
But I believe that each DLC comes with 3 stories in it. And obviously new suits and gadgets and all that stuff, but they've not announced what they are.
To be honest, I'm more excited for the actual game before I even remotely start thinking about the DLCs. It's not even out yet. I feel like that's a very, very stupid move. I understand that people are excited for it, but wait till it's out like a week and then go, oh, guess what, there's content after you finish it.
Yeah.
Instead of doing it before, it just doesn't make any sense.
It gives the names. They should never have put the Insomniac should not have put out the video.
No,
showing
that's,
the character.
Even before the original game's out, that's a bit stupid. But
just anyway, the last one is called Silver Lining, out in December this year, which they're quite close together. So
it's going to be content till the end of this year.
Hopefully, do you see them adding on next year? Or does that depend on how the game sells?
Depends how well it sells and how well the content sells.
Yeah, we know that
and how good the content is.
I know the embargo of the reviews has been lifted, but we haven't watched any.
No. I've got the countdown timer on my console. It is downloaded. I am not watching anything from it whatsoever.
I'm going to get mine tomorrow. But that's that for the Spider-Man. Moving on, see Robin Wright is back in Wonder Woman 2. I think she played...
Spoilers before we say anything if you haven't seen Wonder Woman, but she dies.
Yeah, which
so
is weird.
Flashbacks?
Maybe, but Wonder Woman 2 seems to have a lot of reprisals from dead characters.
I'd probably flashbacks.
Yeah, hopefully, but she's
like
a good actress.
Teaches her something when she's younger. And
she's the one she hits the bands for the first time, I guess, too.
Yeah, so
Paula or something, I can't remember.
It's probably like she taught her something when she was younger, and then she just remembers in '84 or something like that. I reckon.
Yeah, you love those flashbacks in those movies. This came out of nowhere. I never seen it happening, but a new Police Academy film is in the works, but it's got Steve Guttenberg tied with it. Which
I mean, it's only a matter of time before they push that out of the grave. So I mean,
everything else seems to be getting a reprisal.
It won't be. It probably will be. It'll be nice to see what the comedians they get nowadays to have that be in that role, because it's an ensemble cast. So you might get it might get some like underrated ones, or might be like brand new ones. Could be really good.
Yeah. So do you see Steven Guttenberg being a captain? This like
probably.
Yeah. Anyway, I know this series is close to your heart. Is Die Hard 6 news? It's come out saying that the name of the film is McLean. And
Is it just McLean?
just McLean.
So it's not even Die Hard,
No, it's not Die Hard 6, it's just McLean.
which is a good sign already.
Yeah, but within this, it's going to split between him being a 20-year-old rookie and him now a 60-year-old veteran.
Wait, so it's not a different character, it's going to be him.
Yeah,
Like, it's going to be John McClane when he was younger and when he was older.
yeah. So it's like how he came up and being a rookie, obviously, and working his way up and stuff, and then it's
So
going to show you
who's
the
playing?
aftermath.
Is it going to be a different actor playing?
It must be. There's no
Are
way.
they going to like Looper this, where they had Jordan Gordon-Levitt wearing Bruce Willis prosthetics?
Maybe.
Oh god! Oh god! That's gonna suck.
Get what they should do.
Oh,
Get what
God.
they should do. They should get another handsomely
Mhm.
strong, great actor who's bald,
Mhm.
and make him as the younger one.
You know what they really should do?
What?
Just not make another one.
That you're asking too much.
Just leave it with 5. 5 was so bad and so terrible that it just leave it.
What if there's a time thing where 5 doesn't happen in this film?
There's no such thing because he's older.
You never know. I don't know. We'll watch it. Let's be serious. We're both going to watch
Oh, I'll
it.
go see it and I'll be extremely disappointed again, just like when I walked out of 5 and I felt like I just threw my money at the wall and for no apparent fucking reason. Oh god, I hate 5 so much.
Anywho, Fallout 76 news. There was stuff came out, but it was just repeated. But this is the only bit that was hinted at that's different. Is they've come out and said that there might be the ability to make human factions.
Which
So-
makes sense because you're gonna go in with your friends,
Yeah.
and your friends will be like a clan anyway. Like the only way that I'm thinking about it is that these factions, like, are they thinking that like players are going to be raiders? If you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, let's be serious. There's going to be someone out there who's going to pick Raiders as a group name.
Exactly, but there's good people that are going to be arseholes and then get more folk in. So are you going to come across a group of raiders, but the group of raiders
Maybe.
are real people?
Maybe. Remember that the maps now have a 24-player cap,
Is that it? Only
That's it, 24.
24 players.
and that big map. So yeah, it's not.
That's
even,
it?
Yeah.
I like that because I could go a whole game without seeing any cunt,
Hopefully.
which is what I want.
Hopefully, we hope. But yeah, think about it. Say what we know, 6 people who are going to play it on both consoles.
Maybe if I get to know 24 folk, and then all of my friends can be on it at once, and then all 23 of them can leave me alone, and it'll feel like a single player game.
No, you know what's going to happen though. Someone out there in our friend circle is going to be like, let's band together and hunt Doigy since he's out there on his own. No, I mean it's going to happen. There's people
Is
out
this
there.
what you're telling me you're gonna do?
Nah, I'd never do that. I'm too nice. You know
Anyway,
that. You know
I
that.
like talking about Fallout 76, but I just everybody I know that I've spoke to, they know that I'm on the fence.
Yeah, you're like barely on the fence. You're tipping. But next news, I know you'll like it. Battlefield 5.
Mm-hmm.
It's a game we actually both are looking forward to, even though it's been pushed back a month. They've come out saying that their Battle Royale mode is going to be called Firestorm, and it is the biggest map yet that they've ever worked on.
Which makes sense because like you can't have a small map for Battle Royale.
Yeah, makes way of sense. But I'd like to see what they're going to do, because I know in some of the trailers for that map bit, where you see that obviously the fire circle coming in, so aka Firestorm, makes sense. But that you see tanks rolling through houses. So does that mean tanks are going to be in this? Do you think?
Maybe. I mean, I'm not super excited for it.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm more looking for. I like the grand operation thing. That's cool. Like
You like the story?
over several days.
Yeah.
Like with the story, I like the war stories. What if we're on for one day, me and you and our friends do like one part of the battle, and then the next day we need to do like the next part of the battle. Even the multiplayer, I kind of like. Just the battle royale. I feel like it's just tanked on, and some people are excited for it, but it's probably the least most excited I am for it for obvious reasons.
But at least we're getting a tryout this week because the beta.
I am definitely going to get the beta because I
It's
do
on the
want this
6th.
game to do well. Obviously, EA is not the best company in the world, but I like the Battlefield ones, and I like World War Two. I
Yeah.
mean, I get it; it's hyper stylized, but I still like it.
there's a lot of people out there who obviously are like, no, Battlefield 4.
It's getting a lot of flack. Like, it's
Yeah.
definitely getting a lot of flack, which we've covered before. But I am excited for it.
Yeah, so we've got the beta on Thursday on the 6th, which we'll only get one day playing in, obviously, because Spider-Man's on Friday. Other than that, we got Doom Patrol set photos,
Yes, we did.
which didn't look too bad. Like, the Robot Man.
You only saw him in a car. The only question I had for the whole thing,
Yeah.
right, is that like, we see all the different characters. They don't see them doing very much, so there's not that much to talk about. Apart from, is Brendan Fraser in the suit?
No, it looks like there's going to have someone in the suit and he's just a voice. Which
I
I'm
don't
dis-
know.
I don't know. I can't remember seeing him.
I feel like he'd be willing to be in the suit.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I do.
Well, maybe they had his test. Maybe the only picture that got taken was his
Mhm.
test guy. You know what I mean? His stunt double.
So maybe he is. That's maybe. I think he is.
Still look like, in all seriousness, no offense to take digs at Teen Titans, but it does look better than that so far.
But that's just set photos.
Yeah.
Not seen a trailer or anything, because we saw set photos of Titans and it looked quite good. It's only when they brought out the trailer and went for the wrong aesthetic that people were like, maybe not.
Yeah. You alright? Burps to do. Last bit for me, for my news. This is a big bit of news. It finally got revealed. Now, this is a game I love, and I know many other people that love this. But it's finally been revealed for the Netflix Witcher show that Henry Cavill, aka Superman,
Mhm.
aka man who can pull off a suit in Fallout, Mission Impossible,
And a mustache.
and a mustache, is going to be playing Geralt of Rivia, aka Big Man Witcher himself.
Obviously, we know from previous podcasts that I have never played the Witcher games, but I like Henry Cavill. I think he's very underrated, and I think that it's going to be good. That's really all I have to say on it, because I've never played any of the games, and I know that he is a fan of the games
Yeah.
and the books, so he probably will do the character right. That's all I've got to say on it, really.
What I like about him is because obviously you play the game and he's stoic and he's rough and that, and I know Henry Cavill can pull that off. He can pull that kind of player. I'm looking to the bits where he gets drunk with Dandelion and just at the pubs and all that stuff. I want to see. I can't wait to see him for that bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because that would be a different. And I can't really wait, because obviously we saw fan art for this and we both went, is that the real? Is that how he actually looks, remember? And I think he looks good, he's big, and Geralt's usually big. But it's 8 episodes, for fuck's sake, come. 8 episodes long.
You got it there.
Yeah, I got that. But what I like about this is there's Game of Thrones directors are going on to this.
Mhm.
Daredevil directors are working on it, obviously because it's Netflix, and also I think they've got Luke Cage season 2 director working on it as well, because obviously they'll take shifts for per episode.
The production design will have to be very extensive for
Yeah.
those worlds and that. I only have one other question to ask. Do you think he's going to grow the beard for real, or is he going to wear prosthetics?
I can see him growing it, because obviously
Because then he'll have to dye it grey.
yeah, he's gonna have to dye his hair grey anyway, unless they put a wig on him.
They might do.
But I don't think he'll grow his hair out. I feel like he'll grow his hair a bit longer, but I don't think he'll grow that out. But I can see him growing a beard for it, which man can grow a cracking beard.
Well, I mean, if we saw it in the first Man of Steel,
yeah,
I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see.
yeah, I'm looking forward
You
to
I
it.
mean, don't get me wrong, we're not going to get to see, I think, until late 2019, maybe
is.
even early 2020.
It's 2020. It's set for
so
release.
it's
so-
going to be a while away.
And the money put into that is going to be.
I
hell
want it
of
to
a
do
lot.
well, because I don't
yeah.
want all this. I don't want that amount of money to get chucked into something just for it to fail.
Yeah, and shit, we'll have. Obviously, that's the news, the normal news anyway.
Is that how you've got
yeah,
for
that's
news?
all I've
Yeah?
got for news. See, I never have much. See, you don't have to.
I only have one thing, which was that. Well, it's the end of summer.
Yeah.
The end of summer, and obviously the big contention about summer is the movies and the
Mhm.
box office and how well it did compared to other box offices. So I've got some information about that. So This year has beat out last year because last year was like one of the worst summers in a long time. So this year it has brought it back.
Yeah.
So I've got some numbers here, and I've got like the lists. I've got certain. It's not like a direct like list of like top 20 or anything like that. I've just got, because this is worldwide box office. So it's basically movies that we're going to know, and popular ones that how much they made, where they came in position. So at first, I've got Skyscraper here with 180 million worldwide.
How it even made that is beyond me.
Which again we haven't seen, but it just looked like one-legged Die Hard. Tomb Raider's at 23 with 273 million.
Terrible adaptation of a game.
We've got Pacific Rim Uprising with 290 million.
Terrible.
We've got Ocean's 8, which made 294 million.
You've still to see.
I've still to see this one. One that I'm really happy with is A Quiet Place. It made 322 million, which is really good.
Yeah, deserves it.
For that.
Yeah, it's because it wasn't a massive budget for that film, I believe.
I don't think it was a massive budget, and obviously it's not.
It's not super CGI.
Yeah, it's not. It's more just like a horror. Like I wouldn't say it was an indie horror, but it's like I like movies that you don't think are going to do really well and then do.
Yeah, it's such a fantastic film.
Then we've got a weird one here, which because we're jumping up a bit to number 14, which is Solo with 332 million.
That's got to be the worst ever for
That's
Star
terrible.
Wars.
That's pretty bad, especially because we have Rampage at 13 and the Meg at 12, where Rampage made 426 and the Meg made 467. So the Meg made more, like I said last week, than Solo and Rampage. But it's weird that Rampage made more than Solo.
Yeah, because that's a terrible film.
That is really quite bad. The most exciting part of Rampage is like the end, where they all start fighting for the last like 20 minutes.
And it's so boring to get to that I fell asleep during
I've not even seen Solo, so I mean it can't be that bad.
Yeah. It's also weird that Jason Statham and The Rock both have pulling power that outweighs the Star Wars name.
Yeah, and obviously the lot of issues that Solo had. Yeah. Like the production issues before it even came out, like a lot of people knew about. So now we're actually in like a little list here. So I've got like the top 8. So at number 8 with 582 million is Ready Player One, which makes sense. It had a lot of book. The book was quite popular. It had like a big following.
It's got a fan base, yeah.
Mm-hmm. At number 7 we've got Ant-Man and the Wasp with 597.
Good film.
I've still yet to see it. Number 6 is Mission Impossible Fallout with 649 million, which makes sense. Yeah. Fantastic movie.
One of the best films so far this year.
Definitely. It's probably my second favourite movie I've seen this summer.
Yeah.
Number 5 is Deadpool 2 with 734 million, which makes sense. The first one was incredibly popular.
That's actually quite roughly the same.
I would say. I think that I read somewhere that this made less than number 1, but not by much. You're talking by 20 million maybe.
Yeah.
Number 4 we have Incredibles 2 with 1.1 billion. So we're at the billions now. Because this is worldwide, obviously.
It's very good, that film.
Makes sense for Pixar. Yeah. I've yet to see it, but it makes sense for Pixar. At number 3, we have Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom with 1.3 billion.
It's alright. It's a good
I've heard mixed bags. I've really heard mixed bags. I need to catch up on the stuff that's came out this summer, I do. At number 2, we have Black Panther.
Not surprising.
1.3.5 billion.
Yeah. Not surprised. It had a massive influx especially from America.
Yes, like it's a very culturally appropriate movie, and I think it is a really good movie.
Yeah.
And then no surprise, at number 1 we have Avengers: Infinity War with $2.2 billion worldwide.
Is that the most Avengers film ever?
It's probably one of the highest grossing movies of all time.
That's mental.
Which I am really not surprised.
Because I know each of those Avengers films hasn't made less than $1 billion.
Well, this is hit over 2.
So that's just mental. One company,
especially when you look at even Black Panther of how popular it is. You look at the difference where Black Panther's at 1.3 0.5,
Yeah.
and Avengers is at like 2.2. Like there's a huge gap
Yeah.
even just between 1 and 2.
You see why though? Because that's like a Black Panther. It's like the Guardians of the Galaxy at the time. You know what I mean? A lot of people knew Black Panther and people read Black Panther, but it's not as massive as Avengers put together. So it makes sense.
It's weird. You just take it in the like equation where you've got here like Deadpool doesn't even. Like Deadpool's still sitting at like 734 million, and like that's Deadpool. Like it's incredibly, it's crazy how much money that Avengers Infinity War made.
And then Sony brings out a Spider-Man film and barely scoops by.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, but they've earned it.
Yeah, oh,
they have earned it. After 10 years, they've earned it.
Was that 20, 22, 23
So I think it's been overall, so far, like you've seen a lot more than I have, but even just for look what's there, it's a pretty good summer. And I'm going to catch up on all the rest of them, I think.
We're going to have to do a what's next year type thing at some point.
Definitely.
But,
I mean, we'll talk about the end of the year stuff, but that's officially the summer over now.
Yeah,
so.
And obviously we're hitting September. So like we did last time, we've written down the September games, the main ones. I don't know. Probably indies will get announced. There's
probably a couple of little ones out there, but these are like the ones that we know are coming out this month.
Yeah.
So I'll let you fire off.
Yeah,
them.
Obviously, the big one for us, Spider-Man.
There's no really any more we can talk about that. It's out for us very, very soon. So I can't wait for it. That's all. Really.
Next one is Tomb Raider, which I'm looking forward to this because I liked the revamped Tomb Raider.
Me too.
I wasn't really a fan of Square Lara, so I'm happy they've done this, and it's the end.
I've liked Lara since back in the day.
It's nice for them to do this because they're going out with a bang, because this is the end of her. It's the end of that saga.
Yes,
so
it is.
Do you think they're going to move on to older Lara now after this, or do you think?
I think they'll maybe take a time jump, but maybe by 5 years or so, maybe give her a little break. But I have finished the first one that they brought out. I finished the second one they brought out, so I'm looking forward to it. I probably will trade in a couple of things and get a hold of it.
I think I've got it already. I think I've got pre-ordered already on the Xbox, so that'll be played.
Good.
After that, it's on the 27th. You'll realise date times are different. There's no line of, you know what I mean. But Life of Strange 2 is out on the 27th of this month. I can't.
We talked a little bit about that before when we were talking about Gamescom stuff. There's not much more to go on, so I'm probably, just be honest, I'll probably just watch another game, a walkthrough on YouTube.
The first one, so what you got to do? But you said it looked quite good in the trailer, so I might give it a shot, see what happens. After that, the 28th, we've got a game that I've bought every single year without a shadow of a doubt is FIFA 19 on the 28th. I know you're not a massive.
Be honest,
FIFA
I'm
fan.
not interested. No, I'm not interested.
I'm a bit disheartened about it, but I explained that in another episode because they're pretty much just sticking to that.
FIFA's just what it is. It's an extremely popular game. For me personally, I prefer like FIFA is like a sit on the couch with someone and playing against someone and getting that aspect. I know sitting playing it by myself always used to kind of bore me.
Yeah, it's understandable. It can get repetitive. But on the 11th we have NBA 2019, well 2K19, whatever.
Which is again another popular franchise. I've never dived in myself.
I know we got one for free on the PSN.
But it was like one of the biggest games I've ever had to try and download in my life, and it just
wasn't worth it for me anyway. For us, and also a weird one next. It's the last one on the list. It's Transference from the 18th.
That is VR Elijah Wood game.
We don't have VR. We don't have VR, but it looks amazing.
I hope it does well because I like when big companies support a little company and then it ends up being big and then they get like more chance to make passion projects.
Yeah, this is Elijah Wood's actual company.
Yes, it is. Yes.
So, hey, if it gives them more ideas, hopefully it can come out for the VR, so we can get a shot at it and stuff like that.
But if that's what they want to dive into, then good on them. Really.
Yeah, it's just another star power. A lot of star power behind it, so quite good. But that's it. That's it for September games.
So now we're on to the big topic.
The topic.
So it's emotions in games, and when we talk about emotions in games, is that. So I was watching a lot of YouTube videos to try and sort of think about what we're going to talk about this week, and a lot of YouTube videos you see where it's like top 10 like moments that'll make you cry, and top 10 moments that make you like angry, and like what the fuck happened, like top 10 what the fuck happened in this. And so I thought to ourselves, like, if we take them into categories, so we've got like sad, happy, angry, and what the fuck. And we thought, well, it'd be a way for our audience to kind of know us to get a bit better, because we've talked about our like favourite stuff, and we've talked about what we're excited for, and we've talked about like more relevant stuff. But this is kind of like a stuff that's happened to us in our past with games that's kind of made us feel those emotions. So we're going to go from sad to happy to angry to what the fuck, and we're just going to basically say a couple each, have a nice conversation about it, and well, that's basically it, really.
Yeah, because this week's episode, because we've got our next week's episode in Spider-Man, we wanted to get an episode out in between, so the next episode we do can be fully about Spider-Man and stuff like that. So we thought, yeah, we'll do it. We'll get the September game stuff out and all that. But yeah, it's a good idea, and let's fly in. I have.
Do you want to start then?
Yeah, for sad. So we'll start with sad.
Yes.
I don't have that many for it.
I've only got a couple.
Unlike you, I don't cry at games.
No, you only cry at animated movies.
Nothing wrong with crying at animated movies.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying.
But yeah, this is obviously a massive game. It's Last of Us. The whole game, let's be serious, is a very sad moment.
It definitely tugs on the heartstrings.
Yeah.
There's no point
but
in
for me,
it
has to be right at the beginning. Ow, you just kicked the table. But for me, it has to be right at the beginning, as a father, seeing Joel run with his daughter.
Spoilers, by the way, before.
Oh, right.
Before,
yeah.
Because you're bad at this. Before we say anything, if there's any game that we talk about that we're probably going to spoil, especially when it comes to endings and emotional moments like we're just talking about here. So I'm just getting that out before you say it, and then we get hate because you say it after.
I'm so angry.
No, I'm just letting the audience know.
Right, anyway. As everyone knows, The Last of Us, it must be played by everyone who's heard us, but
everybody that has a PS4 has at least, if they haven't dived in The Last of Us,
they have it to try.
They should dive in The Last of Us.
So obviously, the breakup happens, and you're trying to escape with Joel's brother, I can't remember his name, and the daughter Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, you're driving your car gets smashed, and you're just running through the streets, and it's mayhem. Like, don't get me wrong, it looks fucking awesome, but it gets to a bit where the brother holds the door for you to stop the zombies coming through, and you run down a field, and an army guy doing his job is like, stop there, and she's unconscious, she's knocked out at this point because you've just fell, and he's holding her, and the army guy speaking to someone, and he's got a daughter, she's unconscious, and the guy just slowly lifts up the gun, and Joel starts walking back, and I'm like, oh my god, I was watching it, and I'm like, no.
He tries to turn round, the army guy shoots.
I'm getting there, I'm building suspense.
Alright.
Building suspense. But like, as I was playing it, I was like, nah, there's no way they're going to start this game off with shooting the both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And instantly, in that moment, boom, Joel turns to run away, they both get shot, and all you see is them just falling over, and obviously the other guy's gone. Joel's woken up in a daze, and he's looking about, and I can't remember if the brother runs down before or after.
I'm sure the brother shoots the army guy.
Did you shoot the army guy?
I'm sure the army guy goes to finish the job, and the brother shoots the army guy.
See, this is how emotionally distraught I was, I can't remember.
It's understandable.
And he obviously goes over to his daughter, as we both know, and he like picks her up, and it's
it's brave for Naughty Dog to open a game with that, because
who kills a kid?
It's like basically the only way I can look at it is it's kind of like the opening of Up, where it kicks you immediately in the first 10 minutes of a game. Now that obviously, the one thing I really like about The Last of Us, like, that is an emotional moment, but it's that moment carries on through the whole game with the relationship with Ellie and everything that's going on about, and how Joel acts as well with his attitude, is that emotional heartbreak at the very start of that game is like the emotional tether that goes through the entire
Because especially
game.
you see it, especially when you finally meet up with Joel's brother again,
Mm-hmm.
and his missus explains to Ellie who Sarah was.
And it's like the last time that the brothers properly had a conversation was like back then, and like Joel is very like hard to get close to somebody because he doesn't want it to happen again, and then when he does get close to Ellie, he becomes
Yeah.
like extremely protective
'Cause-
because he doesn't want that to happen
Yeah,
again.
because you see it even in the beginning when he's just like, no, I don't want her, I can't have her, like I don't want to take her with me and all this stuff.
And by the end of it, it's like his real daughter again. So it's
Which clearly impacts the ending,
Mhm.
which we won't say just
no,
in
of course
case.
not, but
But it clearly impacts the ending of, I would do the same thing.
mhm.
Would you do the same thing?
Of course.
Yeah. So,
that emotional start of the game is probably, like I said, for the very start of a game to kick you already and
Yeah.
make you feel
Yeah.
sad before you've even played
'Cause-
anything really.
yeah, because a lot of people could have been like, whoa, no, if they're shooting kids at the beginning, I'm turning this off. Like, there is
See,
people
there's a
out there
there's a
like that.
level. There's like to obviously you can like that's like you say there can be people that's like this is too far, but it's more just the family aspect and the emotional aspect of
Yeah.
you're like before you've even got past like half an hour of gameplay, you're already completely invested in Joel because you've watched him go through the hardest part of his entire
Yeah.
life by that
And
point.
you start to see him soften to it. You start to see, because even as the story goes on and it ends up just being those two, that at that point he's still overly aggressive towards her.
Mhm.
She doesn't do what he's told, doesn't do what she's told. He's very angry instantly. But then you can see the way he talks while they're walking that he's kind of trying to change
He's just
it.
protective.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's super
Yeah.
protective. But that is
Yeah.
definitely, I agree
Yeah.
with you, that is a very, very sad
That's
moment.
my real. I've got, my other sad one is one that we both share, but
Yes.
we'll talk about that in a minute. But what is your sad moments?
Okay, my first sad moment is the end of Red Dead Redemption 1.
Oh,
John Marston, who you grow attached to through the entire game, you realise that he's done some bad things in his past, but he just wants to change it for the good of his family. You're through the entire game, you go through the having to deal with trying to solve everything and having to go over to Mexico and having to deal with all the arseholes and like help so many people. And then when you finally get back to your family, and then the game's really smart. So it's like when you used to do the farming missions, like the
Yeah,
little
yeah,
collecting
yeah.
cattle at the very start, and then it makes you do them again. And you think to yourself, like, if say you just got back to your family and then it happened immediately, what happens at the end? I don't think it'd be as emotional as it was. It's because you get back with your family, everything's alright for like a little wee
Yeah.
bit. You do like, I think it's like maybe up to 5 missions of just going into town, just being an average guy, no guns, no violence.
it's that moment of peace.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the 2 fucking FBI agents you work for in the game turn up to your house with like 40 guys. You tell your family to go away, and John Marston walks out, and you get to do that dead eye thing, and
Yeah.
it's impossible to get everybody.
How many times? No matter how many times you do that, you cannot find enough time to hit every single
The
person.
game has made it physically impossible to get everybody, and then the guy that you've played hours upon hours upon hours with, doing side missions, having his story, doing silly stuff, just gets absolutely destroyed and mowed down.
Just
And
run up
it's
the dots.
heartbreaking. It's
Yeah.
heartbreaking. Like I did. Like yes, you like after that you play as his son, and you can go back and get your revenge, which is a tiny little bittersweetness. But having the end of what happens to John Marston, especially, I think that, like I said before, having the little piece like you were saying
Yeah.
of the little missions where you think everything's fine, you're like, oh, it's gonna skip a little bit forward, and it's like they lived happily ever after.
Rockstar
And
like,
it just
nope,
it does
we're not
it.
doing
It
that.
does
We're
it.
not
It
doing that.
sucked. I love that game, and I cannot wait for the second one. But God, that ending.
Okay, what worries me is the fucking, because the second is a prequel,
Mm-hmm.
there could clearly be a moment like that again.
It could be, especially if it's a prequel and you get super attached to John Marston because
Yeah.
you're like, oh, welcome back, he's alive. But that's my one for number me, because that is an emotional ending. that just destroys you. You're not ready
Yeah.
for it at all.
Have you got another, or is it the joint one?
I've got one other.
I got.
My other one before a joint one is the end of Titanfall 2.
Ah.
Now, this is something I never even remotely thought that would be emotional. It's
Yeah.
a first-person shooter game about giant robots.
But you continuously went to me. You need to play.
It's such a good story, and basically at the very start, their captain dies, and you're just like a little private, but you end up taking control of his giant mech, and his mech is sentient. It's called BT, and you grow an emotional bond through the entire game. It's like your only friend, and then right at the very end, BT sacrifices himself to keep you safe. And you're not ready for it. You're honestly not ready for it. It sounds so silly to be attached to this robot, but it genuinely, like, I recommend, if you've never played the story of Titanfall, I 100% recommend it, but it should not it just shows how good that story is. Like, it's very underrated, and it just had an emotional ending that just kind of catches you off guard a bit that you're not ready for.
No, and also because it's a robot, you're not used to. You don't really.
It's the same as like animals in games.
Yeah.
Like, you're not ready for it.
Yeah, unless it's Division 2.
But that is the only other one I've got apart
Right,
from
this joint one.
It's a bit of an obvious one.
Yeah,
It is a bit of an obvious
It's the first and second season of the Telltale games, but again, the first one for me is something
of Walking Dead, because we need to make that
sorry,
really
Telltale's
clear.
The Walking Dead, season 1 and 2. Like the first one, because it was so new, it was fresh. Oh, this is fucking good. And you meet up with I'm terrible with names.
You play Lee.
You play Lee, and you end up with a wee girl,
Clementine.
which I should know because I only played the first episode the other day. And obviously it's zombie survival, so you meet people, you go around, you do these tasks, and you're building up a rapport because she's trying to find her mum and dad.
Yes. So there's already emotional moments in those games. Like, certain thing happens throughout the first season.
Yeah. Like, who do you save? Do you save
like,
this person?
Yeah,
Do you save that
like
person?
what happens with Kenny and his daughter and his wife and that. Like, emotional stuff happens, but the always constant is Lee and Clementine.
Yeah, the connection.
The fatherly bond that they have together. And then there is a moment where you get bit, right, as Lee, and you think he's kind of, you already assume that there's no cure.
Yeah.
You have the choice to chop off his hand to think if that works, which doesn't.
Spoiler, but I've already said that. So on you go.
And he turns. He basically, right at the very end, he's bleeding out, and you have to then play as Clementine, and he says, like, you basically have to shoot him or leave him.
Yeah.
And because of the bond that they've had and how good of a character Lee is, it is fucking heartbreaking.
Yeah. It's one of those moments where you take a certain amount of time, you're watching it, and you're looking at it. I don't even think that, because I know in those games, every time you have a decision, there's a timer. Like, it slowly builds down.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. I don't think there was one at League.
The big decisions, there isn't a
usual
timer.
one. So I sat there longer than usual, just going, what did I do? Did I kill him? Did I leave him?
I shot him.
Yeah, I shot him in the end, but still choosing to shoot Lee was
It
so
hurts.
hard, right? He's so good
And
of
then-
a character.
For me, even the end of season 2 is also quite underrated as well as emotional, because you go through a lot of emotions after, like, Lee's passed and you're still playing as Clementine, and you kind of go through a lot of shit, and there's some hard decisions even in the second one. But the last decision in season 2 is like, you either save someone who isn't the best of the characters, but you shoot like someone who is Kenny from the first season, who's went a bit off the rails, but he's still a very great character.
Yeah.
Or,
and also you've got that first season connection well.
Or you could lose the kind of the character or you could let Kenny basically get pushed over the edge and become the monster that you don't want him to be by killing Jane. So it's kind of no decision's really good, because
she still ends up with fucking people, losing people.
Yeah, because pretty much. And after, like, so I shot Kenny.
Yeah, so that.
And after it, like, you can choose to just tell Jane to fuck off. and keep AJ
went,
for herself.
I think
I went with Jane
yeah,
too, because
yeah.
I felt like that Clementine was too young.
Yeah.
But Jane wasn't the best character, but you realise that Kenny went over the edge, but it still sucked.
Yeah,
Because I really like Kenny from the first season, because you see him go through horrible, horrible stuff in the first season, and the second season, stuff happens to him that isn't that great either.
Yeah.
And he's a man that's basically pushed right to the edge.
But he's still always been nice to Clement.
Yes,
The character
always,
has always been there. And it's hard to see a character you've got a decision of, I just met this lassie, she's a pain in the arse, but this kid's gone a bit psycho. And it's one of those decisions sucks.
Some of the decisions in Telltale suck, but you have to make them. It's the whole point in the game.
Yeah.
It's why the games are loved. But those two moments are definitely emotional and very sad.
Yeah. I still love playing those games, but see, when it comes to decisions like that, it's like, nah.
That's why I'm happy I play them with Rachel now, because
Yeah.
it's a double decision. I'm not sitting making the decisions by myself, having a nice little cry by myself.
On the new one, I'm just going to be, Fraser, what should I pick? And you're just like,
I'm not
Callum, I've
gonna
not played it yet, stop fucking phoning me.
So now we've went from sad. We're now going to move on to happiness.
Yay!
Because also in games you can be happy with things.
Yeah, sometimes.
So I'll go. You want me to go first?
Yeah, I'll go for it.
So mine's is one that's kind of in gaming. It's about gaming, but it doesn't involve being in a game.
Yeah.
Is that when they announced Fallout 4?
Yeah.
As previous known for this podcast, I am a massive Fallout fan. I waited.
Never know.
After New Vegas, I just was like, well, I guess they're just never going to do another one. They're too busy focusing on their other stuff that they do. and then they did announce it. Like, obviously, for some people it didn't live up to the hype. For me, I really enjoyed it. It's not my favourite one, but just the pure excitement and happiness that I was getting to experience the new Fallout world. I got it on like the day it came out. I played it for months and months and months and months and months. Just enjoyed that world. I just enjoyed it so much. It was just that excitement of
Did you ever become a raider? Sorry to interrupt you. Did you ever turn yourself into a raider?
You can only do that in one of the DLCs.
Nuka World.
I helped them out for a bit until they told me to take over settlements in the other map. So I killed every single one of them. Which is one of the toughest fights in the game.
Yeah, definitely.
But I was like very high level by this point. So I just took every single one of them out.
OP Fraser.
So that's my first one. That was for me personal. That was a happy moment.
A lot of my happy ones are pretty much with you, which it's multiplayer. These multiplayer games moments, because they're just hilarious. But two that stand out, the now, of a happiness of us both playing it, because it was split screen. We were together. It was before. It was
before everything was online.
Like A Way Out. It's before it became like that.
Yes.
A Way Out gave you a wee taste of it, but it's not the same.
Back when you had to be on the same couch together.
You had to actually go visit people.
Exactly.
Remember that? It was Army of Two and Kane and Lynch.
Which are not the best games.
No.
But
they're fucking awesome.
But to enjoy them together is the fun part.
Army of Two is just one of those games where you're like, alright, you're the big guy, the small guy, we'll split up, we'll sort it out, we'll just rampage through them and get it done. Loved that. Fucking loved that.
Some games miss couch co-op nowadays, like genuinely.
Yeah.
And I get it, like it's just technology nowadays. Everybody prefers to play online, but sometimes I do miss just go round to yours and both sitting on a couch and just going. Maybe not a massive campaign, maybe 6, maybe 7 hours. You get that out in a day, but it's just the two of you sitting on a couch, enjoying it.
Yeah.
Going through all the hilarity that happens.
Kane and Lynch. It was the fucking madness.
Oh, that was such a weird ass game. Fun, but weird.
Yeah, because it stuck into that genre of Max Payne type type of games.
Yeah.
But it was so fucking good, just destroying shit. You did stuff that you didn't think you were going to do. You got buried at one point, or you were buried someone at one point, I remember that. But it was one of those games, because I look back at it, the graphics were shit.
Oh, definitely.
But like it was one of those games that just takes you away. But yeah, that's my first one, and it's more of a nostalgia thing than anything, but it was fucking one of the happy moments.
Cool. My other happy moment is, as I mentioned it before in the podcast here, is 100% in Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yes, Fraser. We all know you 100%ed Horizon Zero Dawn.
I'm not going to go into too much detail, but it's one of the very few games that I've 100%ed, and I am incredibly proud of it.
Are you going to do it with Spider-Man?
It depends how good it is, but there's a high possibility. Like,
Are you going to go looking for all those puddles?
only if they're collectibles. But it's just a small little achievement. Like, I don't have that much platinum trophies. I'm not a trophy fiend. I'm not like, oh, I have to go get all the trophies. I have to 100. But I've never been that person. But it was just when I got so many in that game, and I was kind of like, I need to set myself a goal, and I loved it that much that I was like, you know what? I'm doing this, and I find it just made me really happy to do it.
Yeah.
That's it, really.
Yeah, it's good. My next one, like your first with Fallout, because I was a massive fan of Infamous 1 and 2, I thought they were awesome games. When they announced Infamous Second Son, I was just like, holy shit. Then obviously it was a generation game, so it came out with the PS4. It was one of the first games that came out.
It was one of the first.
It was the first game I ever played on the PlayStation, for 4 anyway, and I was like, oh, it's just gonna be another one like this. And then you see a trailer, and then you play the game, and you've got multiple powers, and I was just like, what the fuck? And it's got one of the best voice actors. What one is his name?
Troy Baker.
It's always one of the two, but it's Troy Baker. Anyway, it even looks like him, which is hilarious. And going through that story, later on there was times like, okay, this is fucking stupid, or this is fucking nippy, but I still enjoyed it because I got to either blow shit up with gas, fire thing, or I got the rock powers, or the light disco, neon power, the speed
Close enough, disco and neon's the same thing.
And speed power. It's one of those games that I can play it multiple times. It's one of those ones if I'm ever like, okay, I want to go fucking destroy shit, I want to go fight some people with some powers, I want to wear a cool Tammy as I do it.
My favourite part of the entire game, and it was only just a little thing, but so like I mentioned before in this podcast, we've talked about it, is like the power set of like good and evil.
Yeah.
And you had to get your good to like maximum, and you got because every time you like sprinted with the powers, like with smoke, you like floated for a little bit, and like the video game one, you could jump off the satellites and stuff like that. But with the neon one, you basically ran in a stream of neon.
Yeah.
And when you got your like karma to the max good, you could run forever with the neon.
Yeah.
So you just go about as like a neon. You could like run up walls as like basically a neon light, and just that made me happy.
Somebody comes around, Fraser's just like.
It was such a tiny little thing, but that made me happy.
Yeah. What's your next one? Hit me with it.
Well, I've got a small little honourable mention before I go into the normal one, which is bow and arrows in games. It's a tiny little thing I'm going to get out of the way, but I love the feeling of bow and arrows in games.
Far Cry Primal.
Far Cry Primal, in my opinion, it's not the best game, but God, I love shooting things in the face, just that feeling of a bow and arrow in a game. But the one that I've got here is that one of the games that I've always enjoyed, and I'm really looking forward if they ever do another one, is the Prince of Persia games. And the reason I'm a very big fan of them is because Prince of Persia, Sands of Time, was the first game I ever completed without any help.
Aye?
Now, I was 13 years old.
Yeah.
I was 12 when it came out. It came out in 2003. But when I eventually got to play it, obviously when you're young and you play games on a console, sometimes there's points that are hard, so you ask like your brother or your dad to just come and help you with a little bit, and you could still finish the game, but they did help you. But Prince of Persia Sands of Time was the very first game I played from start to finish by myself without any help, and I got to the end.
Yeah.
And it just excited me that much. I really enjoyed it. And there was bits that were really hard, and there were bits that I had to redo over and over again, but just the hardship of getting through, and it's good because that made me love the franchise, because I finished Warrior Within, I went on to Two Thrones, I went and played even the cell shaded one that I like that everybody hates.
And then they brought a film out which made you really happy.
The film, like, I see the film with gold tinted glasses on because I'm a massive Prince of Persia fan. And then even when they brought up the one connected to the game, like, I've liked every single game.
Yeah.
Even like I said, even the cell shaded one that everybody hates, I like because it's part of my childhood.
Yeah. I've got it's it's not an honourable mention, it's just a shout out of moments in game that made me so hilariously happy, but also made you hilariously angry at the same time.
Okay.
Now, as I've said before, and I'll probably say again, is I play quite a lot of Rainbow Six Siege. And I remember playing this with you for the first time. And I remember you tried it, and you tried it, but you got the most angry I've ever seen you, and I literally nearly wet myself because you were fucking raging. You're like, he fucking shot me in the foot, he killed me by shooting me in the fucking foot. And I'm just like wetting myself on the other side, like, okay.
I've never been so angry playing a game. I've lost my temper at games before, but that is the pinnacle of making me want to snap.
And especially if the bomb guys ran at you and you were fucking shooting them and they wouldn't go down and blow up right in front of you. Your reaction to that is probably one of the most hilarious things ever. So thank you for those moments.
You're welcome.
this my actual.
It's never going to happen again, but you're welcome.
Even though you have it. My last happy moment. It's more of a tradition that we did, because obviously we got into the NFL, and we watch the Super Bowl every year.
We do watch the Super Bowl every year.
And somehow, traditionally, we would go out 3 days later and buy Madden.
Yes, back when we had money, we'd
No,
always.
well, I missed like 2 years.
Yes, but back when we had more money, able to spend more money than we can now, we used to get Madden, but it only happened every time of the Super Bowl because some reason we thought we were going to be like FIFA with Madden and we were going to go out and do all this cool stuff.
We simply played the same fucking move.
Basically,
over
what
and
happened
over.
is the two of us versed each other and tried Hail Marys for 20 minutes.
Best 16 quid I've ever paid.
Or we just did what the coach suggests. We
Yeah.
never tried to do our own stuff, and we about 9 times out of 10 it was like try and do little coach
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
But the last quarter was just the two of us trying to throw Hail Marys back and forth to see who could score a
But
touchdown.
it's the fact that those moments when one of us caught it, we were like, fucking run! And they were like, just fucking lost
I love
their
those
shit.
moments. Like again, multiplayer, having those moments in multiplayer games are fantastic. I mean, don't get me wrong, we're not the best at Madden, but you know, when they do it, Hail Mary.
Yes, why not? Get the Hail Marys out, get it going. But that's my last happy one. What's yours?
Well, that's it. That's all I've got for happy. So I guess we're going to move on to
Angry.
one of the best emotions that comes out of playing games is angry.
Yeah, it comes out on everything that we play most of the times.
So
Oh fuck! Just hit that.
I will go first again.
Yeah, on you go.
So my first one is actually quite a relative one. I've got two quite relative ones here, but they brought out a remastered version of Crash Bandicoot, the Insane Trilogy.
Yeah.
So I finished Crash Bandicoot 3. I finished Crash Bandicoot 2. I did not finish Crash Bandicoot 1 because holy fuck, that was so fucking hard. It was absolutely nails. I've just wanted to snap my controller in half so much. Obviously the big jumping mechanics thing where they couldn't get the perfect jumping mechanics, so they took it all from 3 and it's all momentum and you don't use that in the first one. Oh my god. Because I wanted to do them in order. Because you got it.
Yeah, obviously.
And I had to give up. I had to give up. I'll put it to you this way, right? It took me 2 weeks to get to the halfway through to the boss of the second island in the first game. Right?
Yeah.
And it took me 2 days to finish the third game. I finished the third game in 2 days, but it took me 2 weeks to get to the boss of the second island in the first game. I just wanted to just give up life and hope. So if anybody's played it, they know exactly what I'm talking about.
I've played it.
Because
I've played it.
Fuck me,
I
that was-
I got bored. I don't know if it's the
bored
same-
of dying.
No, bored of the game. I know it sounds weird, but I was a Spyro guy, and I honestly I must have tinted glasses with Crash because I played it.
Well, most people, their favourite Crash is 3. My
Yeah,
favourite Crash
yeah.
is 3. That's why I managed, because I'd played that one so many times that I managed to just know exactly what I was doing. I hadn't played one, probably played one a long time ago,
I
but
really hope they don't screw with Spyro.
what can this? There's nothing they can screw with Spyro. Spyro's different, but oh god. So that's my first one, losing my temper.
Well, mine, Devil May Cry, right? The first Devil May Cry. I just loved seeing the trailers and everything about it. I was like, wow, this game looks fucking awesome. And anyone who's played Devil May Cry knows, that's fine. Everyone who knows Devil May Cry, the settings for hard, medium and easy.
Is this the first one?
The first one.
The very first
Very
Devil May
first
Cry.
one. Like, they were so far apart that it's ridiculous. But with this one, even in fucking medium hardness, I was playing through it, killing cuts. I'm like, oh yeah, fucking, I'm killing these wee things so easy. And then you get to the first fucking boss called Phantom. He's the giant lava spider with the armor and stuff like that. Do you remember him, the one that talks to you? You were never a massive.
I have only played Devil May Cry 4.
The douchebag did.
No, as in 4.
Alright. And I remember fighting him, and I'm like, oh, I can take this wee cut. Hit him. No, his health doesn't go down that easy. So it's all in all Devil May Cry fashion. I am hitting him, I am shooting him, I'm jumping about, and then I think, oh yes, I'm getting him down, and does that thing that all bosses seem to do now, is you get him so far and it's just pull another one. And I'm nearly dead, and I'm thinking, this cunt's gonna die, I'm gonna kill him. His life's gone down, mine's gone down, and he done this thing where I landed on the floor, somehow lava shot out the fucking ground because it's one of his powers, and I died. I was just like, well, I'm going to put the pad down, I'm going to go downstairs, punch a door, come back up, turn it on, and it took me about 40 fucking tries to beat this thing.
At least you did it though.
Yeah, but I had to turn the settings because I just had to get past it.
At least you have to admit it. Like that's nothing to be ashamed of. Nothing to be ashamed of whatsoever. Well, my next one, talk of fighting some over and over again.
Oh wait, is it Dark Souls 3?
No, definitely not. So, recently, one of the best games that came out this year is God of War. And there was special bosses in it called the Valkyries.
I took them on so much.
So, there was, I think it was 12 Valkyries in the game. I want to say 12, but don't hold me to that. It could be 8. I think it was 8. I beat every single Valkyrie, which is hard in itself, right? Because I know some people, like Callum, who could only kill like 2 Valkyries.
Three. You've got 3.
3 Valkyries.
Right? 3, Jesus.
But after you kill all the Valkyries, you have to fight the Queen of the Valkyries. Now, every single Valkyrie had a move where it was
OP.
Like a bullshit move, I'm calling it.
Yeah.
Where it was so hard to dodge, you basically got hit with it every single time. It was fucking annoying.
Keep going, I'm going to drink.
Cool. And the Queen of the Valkyries did every single one of them that the rest of the Valkyries did. And oh my god, I fought her so many times. I died so many times. There was times where I was on the headset to Callum and I was like, because he sent me a party invite and I was like, oh, I'm just fighting the Queen, I'll be off in 5 minutes. And then like half an hour would pass and I'd still be like, I'll be off in 5 minutes. It took me a long time, but I did eventually do it. I was over ecstatic, but she was tough for me. And I know some people that like beat her after like first try or second try, which is good, like effort to them. But for me, she took a while to beat. And I had to get the right set for my weapons, and I had to go and basically graft for a good bit to get myself higher.
What I love about this is the fact that we're like, yeah, you beat the Queen. Spoiler, to people that played it, like she isn't the real Queen. So in God of War 2, like the continuation of the Norse mythology,
yes,
we're going to end up going up against the real Queen of the Valkyries, most likely.
I'll cross that bridge when we get there.
So you didn't beat the Queen.
I beat the Queen.
You beat the Queen.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare take this away from me! Don't you dare take this away from me!
You beat the Queen's lackey.
Don't you dare take this away from me!
Sorry. Okay, I won't touch it. But sorry. Anyone who knows me, and this, I'm getting there by the way. Anyone who knows me, I love a battle royale. I do. I love a battle royale. So when I saw PUBG come to the Xbox, I was like, fuck aye, brilliant. Get Fraser, make him spend money for it. We'll jump on. And I was met with rage of the buggiest. Just, I understand that we're living in a genre, in a time now where most games aren't complete when they're brought out. But the fact that when I jump out a plane, land on a roof, and I go through the roof and die, because it's just like potatoed fucking crayon houses, then go, okay, what, it's the first time, we'll get a wee time. It's like fucking 4 updates later, I go inside the house is not crayon anymore. I go inside the house. Somehow the kitchen has no kitchen counters. Somehow there's no table that was there before. Keep walking. Oh, somebody's coming. Head in a corner. You just died. How did I die? Because drawers spawned in 10 minutes later, they've been in the house. I must have lost my shit so much because of this. And even the game that we had against each other, which was really good, where we, like, you just died before me, and it was like me and one guy left, and I'm in a house, I'm at a tree. Cunt was there at the tree, and then it just went doop, over. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I'm shooting him. And it's just, you change the controls, you sort it, but the game is just so disconnected from your pad that you're shooting everywhere except the person. And I obviously died before and never got us a win. But that game, now don't get me wrong, I put this on again, and I'll get onto that later, but this game was so fucking broken that it shouldn't even been it should have been a tenner.
Do you remember that time that you got killed by a dumpster?
Oh my god. How the fuck did that happen again?
Because we were driving a motorbike and we backed up against the dumpster.
Oh my
and
god.
You got out of the dumpster and the fall from the dumpster to the floor killed you because of the height of the dumpster. I mean, this is like falling off a couch. At that level killed you.
Oh my god, I can't believe it. I totally forgot about that.
I remember you were raging at that.
What? That was it's one of those games.
You were just after it. It wasn't even you'd passed losing your temper, so it was like after that. I was like, you're right, and you're like,
I talked to him the other
I'm alright. And I'm like, he's fuming. He's past shouting. He's at the giving up on life point of angry. But I understand why you lost your temper.
So what's your next one?
Well, Matt, this is my last one, and it's more of a not being angry and a like lose your temper vibe, just an angry and a like why vibe. So it's the end of Fable 2. I like Fable 2. It's a really good game. Obviously, no Fable game's perfect. There's always they've always said they've always promised more than they actually give. But the end of Fable 2, after all the emotional thing that happened with your sister and the dog and everything like that, basically just came down to pick a choice.
Yeah. Oh shit, it's hitting phone.
It was like pick wealth, pick dog, pick everybody likes you. Like that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. It was like that's it. And then if you don't make the choice quick enough, the game makes it for you. It was just I was just like after all this, I was like, really? That's it? That's it?
How can you make that decision?
There's nothing worse than just a disappointing ending.
Yeah.
Like after just because sometimes that's when it's the same as like a movie where the ending can completely change an entire movie where like you realise, oh yeah, it was one good. Yeah. Same as a game. A game could be amazing all the way through and have a shit ending where you're just like, what's the fucking point? So that's another. It just made me angry at the time.
Yeah. This is a game, and also in all other aspects, I love, you love, many others we know love. But the tree, the unlockment tree for all your abilities on Dying Light is one of the best ones. But there's a move in it where you can run up, and when you jump, you can jump backwards.
It's called tic-tac-toe, isn't it?
Tic-tac-toe, you're right. And I remember getting that, I went, fuck it, this is going to be good, because you're in a small space, that's perfectly fine.
You want to get all the abilities, you can't leave one off.
And then you get it, and then you run up a building for the first time, and it just shoots you across, you're like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, why I didn't want to go over there, why am I over there?
See, I don't mind that ability, normally, But see when you're climbing up the wall of a building that's like the outside,
Yes.
and you run and then it does
Yes.
it, and then you basically go to your death.
No, remember we it's when we used to do the fucking nightmare thing. Where at night we'd go in a building.
Yeah.
And you fall down, you're like, oh fuck, get up, you run up, you're fucking gone, and it just shoots you backwards, you're like, oh my god, why? You bastard. And obviously you, Ryan, you're all sitting on top of the building, but I'm fucking running my fucking tits out, trying to get killed. And it just did it so many times, and I just thought, there must be a way to unlock this, must be a way. And you couldn't. So you're stuck with this, and I'm never, if that tic-tac-toe is in Dying Light 2, I don't give a fuck. I am not getting it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Because I could see in the next one, I've not got it, I'm running, I'm jumping, I'm fine. And I see like you're fucking
I
running.
hope you don't get it, and then there is a moment where we're playing together, and I survive because I've got that ability, and you're stuck down this little ledge, like can't go anywhere, and that would make me so happy.
Oh, aye, my misery makes you happy. That's minded.
So is that your angry?
I've got one more, but it ties into my what the fuck, so I'll say that at the same time as
Okay.
what the fuck.
Right, so now it's basically what the
What the
fuck. It's the last emotion we have there. Everybody goes through those bits and games. So I will go first. So for me, the first what the fuck is spoilers for this, but even if you've not played it,
Yeah.
then just why not? It is Far Cry 5 ending.
Sorry, I find that so funny when playing that with you, because we did the whole thing multiplayer.
We did the whole thing together. It came out. I'm actually just. I don't actually want to spoil it because it's in an ending. But basically, the both choices that you choose, none of them good. None of them make any sense. It doesn't fucking make any sense. Everything you do in that game is just not worth it. It just makes it pointless. It was hours upon hours of enjoyment, just flushed down the shitter, because you're just like, after it, you're not, even after it, you're not like, oh, that was good, or that was bad. You're more like, what? Because I was like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I was like, wait, what? That's it? What the fuck? So that's that one for me.
And it's quite weird because that game has 3 endings.
There's the special ending, which everybody knows, like they're going to do this now after Far Cry 4, where you can finish it in like 10 minutes, but that's
Yeah.
not really an ending.
Yeah.
But then the proper end of the game, even then, is still like, what the fuck? So that's why I can't go back to it, because that soured me that much. That's my first what the fuck. What have you got?
Well, my first one is more of a. It's not more of like a playing moment. It's what like it is a moment that goes into a playing moment, but it's in God of War when you're running with your son through the mountain, and you get out of the mountain, and it's one of the wee dwarfs. I can't remember the blue one, whatever his name is. He's standing there, and then just the fucking first dragon you see comes out. And obviously you have to fight the dragon in that.
Mhm.
And I'm just fucking looking. It's more of a holy crap. This is beautiful. Like this. As you know, I've got a picture saved from the game as my main thing on the phone,
Yes.
on my PlayStation. But seeing that dragon for the first time, I was like, this has just taken my breath away. And the fight that fucking comes with it is so good that you're jumping in its mouth. You're fucking trying to break its teeth. You're punching it in the face, you're having to dive from its claws, and I'm just like, I can't stop fucking, I want to keep doing this for fucking ages. And then you just keep going, and you're dodging it, and I remember you doing it, and there was even moments you were like, what the fuck did I dodge? How did I dodge this? Because remember it scrapes it and pulls it back, and you're like, how did I hit it? And we both realised that once it scrapes and pulls away, you have to run over and fucking hit the hand. But that was so fucking amazing that it just blew my mind. And God of War 2 North whatever is going to be fucking so beautiful. Just give me more dragons. Give me a God of War where it's just you and 6 dragons, and I'd be happy with that.
Well, my next what the fuck is well, that's basically just it. Is Joker dies in Arkham City.
Yeah.
Now, nobody saw this coming from a fucking mile away. Nobody ever saw this coming. And you obviously assume that when it does happen, you're like, nah, fuck off, that's not can't be realistic. He's joking. Obviously, he's joking.
Yeah.
But no, it's where he dies. He physically dies in Arkham City, and it's just a moment that you're just not ready for.
Just any Batman without the Joker, it's just something that makes my mind go, nah, that kid's
Now,
not
obviously,
that.
in the next one, he's there, but in different circumstances. We won't spoil it for anybody who hasn't played it. But just that moment in the second one, because like they both basically try to get the serum for the poison, the disease, and Joker just can't let Batman win,
Yeah.
and it smashes, and Batman's like, I would have gave you it anyway, and then Joker's just like, well, that's funny, and then dies, and then he walks out holding him and puts him down, and even all the bad guys are like, the fuck? It was just it's not a bad what the fuck, but it's just crazy.
It's that moment. It's
crazy that they did it.
Yeah, it's a moment in a game in a comic series where, let's be serious, the Joker never really fucking dies, never goes anywhere. But for them to go, yep, that's him. You're just kind of like, what the fuck?
Because after that, you're even more like, where is this going? I want to know where this goes immediately. Obviously, we have to wait for it, but it's definitely a what the fuck moment. So
yeah, definitely. My next one. As you know, I'm a massive fan of Devil May Cry. I just love playing them. It's where, and this isn't a dig at the game, right? This is a dig at the portrayal of a character. But douchebag Dante and the Devil May Cry,
where it was just DMC.
yeah, it was just DMC. Obviously, you've got the black. For some context, it's black-haired Dante, the young, I'm too cool punk rock fucking Dante. It's fucking.
I like the game.
Yeah, I like
personally,
the game.
I don't think the game isn't that bad.
But it's the portrayal.
It's the attitude of
it. Especially, I understand that this is angsty fucking, but it's when the mop falls on his head and he's got the blonde, the white hair, and he's like, nah, gay, or it's not for me, or whatever, so whatever he says. But I'm just like, I fucking hate you so much that I don't want to play this game.
It's like it's trying too hard.
Yeah.
And a lot of folk didn't like it, and if you're a massive Devil May Cry fan like yourself, I can understand why you don't.
I like the game, I like the playing of it. Hate the character. Literally wanted to mute it.
I think that's why a lot of people maybe stopped playing it, because he got on their fucking nerves.
And I'm so happy we're getting the new one.
That's fair.
Yeah. Is that your last one?
Well, I've got one more.
Alright.
Because I have to finish on a doozy in my opinion. So,
A doozy?
Spoilers for BioShock. But the ending to BioShock Infinite is probably the most mind-blowing, what the fuck, incredible, best ending I've ever had in an entire game.
What one is that again? Is that the
So
one that's
BioShock
in space,
Infinite is
in
the
sky?
one that's with the Cloud City,
Yeah.
the Columbia. So I'm going to try and explain this without basically confusing everybody. But you play as Booker DeWitt, voiced by Troy Baker,
Great
genius man, who is told to find the girl, pay off the debt. So you basically find the lassie. I can't remember her name, but she's with you throughout the game, and she's got like time rift powers.
Yeah.
That help throughout the game, and you're against a bad guy called Comstock, who is a man who's been to war and realised, but he's basically a giant racist.
Yeah.
I'm not going into too much explanation, but he's basically a giant racist. And it basically turns out that you are Comstock from a different dimension, where there is a moment in your past after the war that you chose to take a baptism, and if you take the baptism, you become Comstock, and if you don't, you basically stay as Booker DeWitt.
Yeah.
So you are Comstock from a different universe, and the lassie that you're with is your daughter from that universe where you're Booker, who you gave to Comstock because you were a gambling addict. Because in Comstock's universe, they had two scientists who were actually the same person from different universes,
Okay.
who then made technology to make rifts to come and collect your daughter from Booker DeWitt. Right? So
Okay.
then you kill Comstock as Booker DeWitt, but then the girl explains to you that this will continue to happen forever, and the only way to properly end it is to kill yourself. So all the other girls, who's, I can't remember her name, it's annoying, it's really annoying me to drown you during the baptism so that none of this will ever happen.
My head hurts.
You know what makes it even worse, that makes your head hurt, right? Is that they brought a DLC out called Buried at Sea for BioShock, where you play as the lassie who goes back to Rapture from the first game, searching for all the Comstocks throughout the different universes.
Okay.
Right? You then play as Booker DeWitt in that world, realise that you're one of the Comstocks, she kills you, you then play as her, right? And you are captured by the bad guy from BioShock 1, which is it's not Andrew Ryan, but it's the other guy.
Okay.
Can't remember his name. And he gets you to collect something for him, or he's going to harm a little sister. So you go through the entire DLC playing that. You then get something for him. You give him it. And it turns out that what you give him is the would you kindly mind control from the very first BioShock game, which then leads into the very first game, the character you play, which is mind controlled with the would you kindly, to then kill Andrew Ryan from the very first game.
Okay.
So basically, it's a massive circle.
Yeah. Right, okay.
And it is the best ending ever, but like I just tried to explain it to you,
What the fuck?
it's what the fucking confusing. But it is, as a BioShock fan, when this happens, you're like, oh my god. When I played Buried at Sea, I was just like,
wow.
So that's why it's in what the fuck, because even trying to explain it to someone.
Yeah, my fucking. I'll try to hang it in your head as you're going along with the story, but you just fucking give me that whole crazy eyed. Yeah, that was weird.
I love it.
Yeah, but yeah, mine is my last what the fuck is a two-parter. Obviously, as I said, with the anger, there's one left. What the fuck from Far Cry 3 when you're made to slit your girlfriend's throat?
What's the choice? You can either slit your girlfriend's throat or you can leave with them.
Yeah.
What did you do?
I chose to slit the girl's throat.
So did I.
Right, okay. I believe most did. But I slit her throat and I was like, holy shit, I can't believe that actually just gave me the option to do this, and I did it, and wow. Like Far Cry 3 was just mad in all its same fucking ways. But to give me the ability to kill my girlfriend, and then it leads into my anger, my last angry one, is after fucking killing your own girlfriend,
you start having sex with
the priestess lassie.
The lassie you've been working for,
And she's like, yeah, you're going to make you a warrior. And while you're having sex with her, she kills you. Like, I was literally, when I did that the first time, I was like, what the fuck what? Why?
I remember that too.
Like, why though? Like, where was the point in this?
Do you know why? It's because slitting your girlfriend's throat is the bad ending.
I know.
After see if you choose a good ending, the priestess lassie dies.
I know, but killing the girlfriend was meant to give me a happy ending in the game.
But it's because it's not the real good ending. We both chose the bad ending, and we both paid the price for it.
Wow, that's
which it is. After it, you're thinking, "Score! I'm going to be some jungle bloke," and then you get killed.
Yeah. What a load of bullshit.
Fun, but definitely what the fuck.
What's the definition of insanity, Fraser?
That amazing villain. Oh, such a good villain.
Yeah, that's it.
That's a big topic. So I've only got one question for you, mate. And there's what you done lately?
Not much. We're both, again, because we've done this episode so quick to the last one. But I feel like our time has mostly been, well, my time's yours as well, especially has been filled with For Honor,
which we're not going to go into again.
Yeah. But I played the DayZ game preview for the Xbox, and it had its moments of, like, like, obviously because I love survival games, I'm like, yeah, I love this game. I'm going to play it. It's a bit. What was it? It's a buggy. It was fucking hard because it's just been converted over from the PC. Thanks for the shake dog. That it is. It's given us.
I'm gonna deal with her.
Yeah, you
keep
deal with
talking.
But because it's so fuck, you alright?
Hmm?
But because it is coming across as completed, and it isn't. It's they've just moved it over, so you're trying to sort out the buttons. I was losing my shit. Just trying to move a gun from my hand and put the knife in my hand. Try to split between that. I lost my proverbial shit. And when I did that, I finally came out of it because you only get an hour trial when I did this. Only played for 5 minutes. Came off. I went, came on. I'm going to jump back on. I've got another like fucking 50 minutes. Oh, I've got fucking half an hour. What the fuck? That made me fucking angry. But running around, and I've killed a few zombies, and I killed a person who was trying to hit me with a bag because he couldn't figure out the buttons to how to put a bag on his back, so he was just holding the bag and he's sitting in the corner like, don't shoot me, I've only got a bag in my hand.
Are you still shot?
Yeah.
That's
He
harsh.
had a really nice bag in his hand. So I killed him, stole the bag. But yeah, I love that game. The fucking zombies are cruel as fuck. They do not hold back. But I'm definitely going to buy it at some point. Not this week because obviously Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
But I watched Paradise PD. That's literally the only other thing I did this week.
Some of it or all
Some of it. Some of it. And that show is clearly trying to push the boundaries of what Rick and Morty and what Big Mouth done. How did that one? And it is clearly, yeah, I'm getting love. I'm getting kisses from a dog. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
The dog has decided to interfere with the episode right at the very end.
yeah, but yeah, Paradise PD is amazing.
Come on there, Jelly.
Amazingly hilarious. It's not groundbreaking, but it pushes the boundary of we can just do anything.
It's funny.
Yeah, and it's a lot of butt jokes. It's really dirty jokes and all that stuff. And yeah, it's worth if you want to watch something without having to really think about something. You just want to watch it because it's there. It's really good to watch. And if you spoiler, there's just loads of sex in it. What have you done lately, Fraser?
Well, apart from Fall On It, which I'm not going into again, I have watched Paradise PD. Like, I'm basically got the same things to say to you.
Yeah.
But the only other thing is I decided to get Dante's Inferno.
Yeah, because we found out yesterday it was on sale on Xbox.
It's only a $5. I cannot wait to play it again. I really enjoyed that game. Cannot wait to go through hell. And just
I'm gonna get Mafia 3 because it's on deal. Why not?
that's basically it, really.
And
I
it's
mean,
more a case of what we're gonna do. Which
yeah, I'm waiting for Spider-Man. Basically,
We're
we're repeating it over and over again, but
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
That's
it's
it.
gonna be, also next week we're gonna have Spider-Man. I think we're gonna try and see Predator next week.
We're going to try and get Predator out in about a couple of
Um,
weeks after that.
So we've got a wee review on that. We'll
I
try.
think we've got another couple of concepts in our mind to start doing, but I've only got just where can you find us?
Right. We are, as always, on Twitter at of Pointless. We're on Instagram now, Pointless Point of View, which we'll upload more and more as it goes on. But I've broke my phone this week, so it's a bit hard to get stuff uploaded. And obviously we're on YouTube at Pointless Point of View. But we've got to say a massive thank you again. We're going to do this every week. A massive thank you to Lynn for getting us artwork.
For doing our artwork, yes.
It looks really nice and it's better than what I did. So what you got to do? But I've been Callum.
I've been Fraser.